Oh, we are recording. Hello. Let me go to Facebook. How wonderful. I believe that we're recording live on Facebook as well. I hope. Yes, we are. So, welcome everyone. I'm posting this video today because I'd like to get your input on an idea that is percolating and percolating more and more every day about the modern applications of therapeutic sound and therapeutic singing for application to solve today's modern problems in health, in mental health, in uh, passages, and what we're dealing with in this very, very powerful time of uncertainty. You see, I'm in the process right now of preparing for the therapeutic singing certification program. And I'm going to be teaching people to actually work with this healing music modality that I've been in service to for 30 years. It's an evidence-based modality, and it's based upon an ancient practice that was practiced in ancient Israel of pre-biblical times. And what we see from hieroglyphics and from archaeological remains, such as the catacombs that are in back of me here. You see through that door are catacombs, caves. This is my hometown of Beit Sharim in Lower Galilee. As what we see in ancient times is that feminine singers, they were leaders, and that they conscious use of sound and rhythm was used in passages. And we really see it in hieroglyphics and in the archaeological remains in birth and in death. And this Beit Sharim is in death. Now, come our modern today's situation of COVID and increased passing and increased um, lack of space. It's like the whole cemeteries and death industry is being hugely, hugely impacted by COVID, as is our entire health industry. My intention in certifying women in therapeutic singing is to revive the stature of this ancient way as a health modality. I've already instituted a medical research project that's already, 20 years old, and it serves as a benchmark in the field of healing sound. And today, it's time for others to be able to take this on and to earn from it. What I am seeing today as I sit in Los Angeles in the midst of the mayhem going on here is reminding me very much of the war years in Israel. And I'm remembering following that, the post-trauma and the need for stress reduction and the need for uh, community, for a connection to the larger whole. And in modern society, we really don't have that. So the purpose of my making this video is it's like funerary singers. It's an application. And I'm seeing that it's an application that is really, could be really relevant today, because what I'm reading in newspaper articles, they've just been popping out of the woodwork in front of my eyes, is that because of COVID, that people aren't being able to gather and have a true passage of loved ones who are passing. And there's a need. And when that doesn't happen, there's no closure. And psychically and psychologically and physically, it has an impact. Plus the fact that we are all going through, we're all traumatized right now. We're in this period of cataclysmic change. And I'm not making a judgment about it at all. We're in a period of cataclysmic change where we are actually moving forward in society, and we're in the midst of this period of, if you look at birth, of contraction, where in the birth canal, it's bloody, it's messy, and birth and death, they're the flip sides of that continuum of the life cycle. And in ancient times, we were very, very conscious of it. And those leaders were musicians and quite revered. The intention of this training is to revive that reverence. My question to you is this something that would be of interest to you? Am I going down the right road? Or is it still too early? I mean, I know I'm clear about it, but in terms of market, it's something that I'm investing a lot of time and energy to prepare this, and I want to prepare a certification that is relevant for people today. The audience for this work are healing singers and coaches and healers and professional women who are in the midst of change. It's for very, very conscious people because this is a spiritual tradition. And it's a use of sound that is beyond cognitive, so that it comes from a place of the all. And I may be sounding like I'm hooey or bunk, and you might not understand what I'm talking about. I am daring to show up in my truth, and I'm just trusting my higher power is leading me in the right direction. I'm very, very excited about this myself, but it's also scary. It's not scary, it's exciting. It's 30 years in the making, and the reason why I initiated the medical research in the birth area is that felt easier at the time. I had had a lot of experience on the ground, both at the beginning of life and the end of life, but I figured that if we start by the beginning of life, we can get three birds with one stone. We could get the babies, we could get their parents, we could get the medical staff. And I figured if I'm full of hooey, nothing will happen. And I'll understand that having this faith and this inner guidance and this inner voice that's propelling me forward, that propels me, that is the foundation of this entire modality on the leadership side. That's what took me to the hospital. That's what enabled the research to occur. That's what enabled the model to be built. It was fully funded for 3 years. In following that, it has allowed for that part to come back. And now, given what we are going through today, I believe it's time for the other side to come back. And again, I'm finding myself in this same place 20 years later of questioning. Well, today, because of the internet, 20 years ago, we didn't have internet. I was just following my inner guidance, and it panned out, and everything has followed from there. And I've been teaching this ever since. But now I'm really planting my flagpole to support the resurgence of the financial stature of healing musicians as leaders. Frankly, that has been the most challenging thing over the 30 years that I've been working at this. How do you bring leadership and music together? They just don't coincide in the modern world. They haven't. And I thank God I've had the courage to plant one foot, place one foot in front of the next over these 30 years, trusting in that inner voice more than the mind that says I'm crazy, or other people that look at me with crossed eyes like, what the are you talking about? But here in Beit She'arim, we have physical evidence, and for 10 years now, I've been bringing people here, and we've been working there, and the acoustics. There's a whole field today of archaeoacoustics that is proving, this historical evidence out as well. And I would really love to support others in expressing themselves, trusting themselves, and to allow for the resurgence of this sound and this music to revive us and connect us to our inner calm and to our inner knowing, so that we can remain calm in the midst of change. And I know I've been all over the place in this video, so be it. It's not 9 steps, 3 steps to correct marketing speak. I'm aware of that. And I am hoping that at least one person who sees this, they'll get at least one response, 2 response. I would really appreciate your passing this on, because I'm not quite sure even who this is relevant to, and if it's relevant. That's why I'm posting this. I'm taking an early litmus test to see whether I'm barking up the right tree. So I would really appreciate your help in responding and mm, commenting, passing it on to someone who might have interest in this, or who might know of someone or places where this might be relevant. I am in the process of calling cemeteries and uh, end of life places, and there is a whole new wave of conscious dying. I don't see that as the only application. There's so many applications for this approach. It's over 30 years. I have physically worked with them, whether that be in the health realm, with birth and stroke and heart attack and anxiety and mental health, to the leadership side, to overcome fear of presentation, to attracting money in. The TED Talks I've given, all of the marketing, have been conducted by showing up in the same way. I know that sounds bizarre, but honestly, that is how everything has happened. It has not happened by me learning from somebody how to do something. It's been by being of service to this way and listening and then acting upon it. And I know how to teach this, and I want to share it. That's why I'm alive. And I'm wondering what, for the therapeutic singing, whether having a focus with death as one of the applications is relevant, is attractive, or whether it's too scary and going to push people away. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your contribution to this discussion and this exploration. We will learn together. And I'm wishing you a great day, and inviting you to do something kind for yourself today because you truly deserve it, and also inviting you to show up and to speak your truth like I am right now. It might not make sense, but I know I'm showing up, and that's enough. I'm trusting what is, sometimes you open a door, and there's nothing on the other side, but it opens up a window in the other room, and that brings you your next step. And I am 150% confident that that is what is happening right now. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.